Looked gorgeous last night, and she's been an inspiration. Her husband Mark has been just a great friend and a great public servant and a hero to so many of us. And Michelle and I are going to be thinking of her as she continues her recovery here in Arizona. And she loves this state, and she loves all of you. So it was wonderful to see her. Now, last year, I had the chance to tour one of Intel's plants in Oregon. And basically, the engineers explained what happens inside these factories. And I pretended that I understood what they were talking about. No, it's true. We were on this tour, and we were looking through these microscopes, and you'd look at some little spots in the microscope, and you'd say, well, what's that? And they'd say, well, that's atoms. Really? And it was so remarkable that my trip director was with me. He said, this stuff's like magic. How do they do this? And while I was there, Intel CEO, Paul Otellini, someone whose advice I rely on as a member of my Jobs Council, he announced that Intel would be building a new factory here in Arizona. A factory which will turn out some of the fastest and most powerful computer chips on Earth. A factory so big, I'm told, that right there is the world's largest land-based crane. Can pull up to, 4,000 tons? Is that right, Preston? 4,000. So, not only that, but Paul informs me that the microscopes that they're going to have here will be twice as good as the ones they had up in Oregon. So I decided I had to check this out for myself. Because honestly, first of all, who wants to miss out a chance to see the crane? That thing is huge. But there's a more important reason that I'm here. I'm here because the factory that's being built behind me is an example of an America that is within our reach. An America that attracts the next generation of good manufacturing jobs. An America where we build stuff and make stuff and sell stuff all over the world. We can do that, but we've got to come together. We've got to come together and restore the basic American promise that if you work hard, you can do well enough to raise a family and own a home, send your kids to college, put a little away for retirement, maybe come down to Arizona, where the weather's like this all the time. It never gets above 70 degrees, does it? Look, that's what people are looking for. You know, they don't expect anybody to give them anything, but they want to be able to earn and deserve security, the ability to take care of their families, dignity in their retirement. That's what Americans are looking for. That's what they deserve. Now, we're still recovering from one of the worst economic crises in 3 generations. We lost nearly 4 million jobs in the 6 months before I took office. Another 4 million before our policies had a chance to take full effect. But here's the good news. Over the last 22 months, our businesses have created more than 3 million jobs. Last year, they created the most jobs since 2005. Today, American manufacturers are hiring again and creating jobs for the first time since the 1990s. So our economy is getting stronger. And we've come too far to turn back now. You know, after all that's happened, there are folks in Washington who want to do that, who want to turn back. It's like they're suffering from a case of collective amnesia. They want to go back to the very same policies that got us into this mess. Same policies that have stacked the deck against middle-class Americans for too many years. A philosophy that says we're better off if everybody's just fending for themselves and everybody can play by their own rules. I'm here to say they're wrong. I don't accept the notion that there's nothing we can do to meet our nation's greatest challenges. There are all kinds of steps we can take. We can't go back to an economy that's weakened by outsourcing and bad debt and phony financial profits. And last night at the State of the Union, I laid out a vision of how we move forward.